Good morning, traders. Happy Thursday. October 3rd. The month is still slow start so far. No trades for me on the 1st and the 2nd. Had a nice day on Monday. We'll look to find some trades here in the open. About the opens in 5 minutes. We'll probably find a trade in like 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes. We're going to let the opening range set in. We'll go over some trade ideas from yesterday because I know Austin had some moves. And you guys had some nice trending moves after the open as well. So we can definitely touch on those. If you're new here, welcome on in. My name is Evan. Take us through the open about 5 minutes, like I said. Try to find some trades in that first 30, 45 minutes and then send you off with the bias at the very least if you don't catch the move that we find. But yeah, we should have a good day. We have a pretty slow overnight move. Hasn't really moved anywhere. We can just go right into the charts here. Still within yesterday's high and low, so keep that in mind. We haven't taken out yesterday's low. Yesterday's high, actually? No, we did not take that out because this is yesterday's high. Just within that. All since the changeover has been down. So still within that. That could be a little bit better, but that doesn't really sway me off any certain bias. We are still below the all-time high view up here in green above us. I have an anchor from yesterday's New York view up as always. We did just reject that pre-market as well as with the 8:30 news. So keep that in mind. We'll look to get above that as always, like we were looking at recently. If you put a price on the midnight open, it's like 57, 51 and a quarter. We're setting, yeah, it's probably gonna 3 minutes up. We're gonna open below that. So take it over edge fill real quick before the open comes in. And like I said, if you're new here, welcome on in as always. But whether you've been here for a while or not, send any markups you got, any questions you got, any trade ideas that you're looking at. Definitely feel free to send them in the chat. We'll take a look at them. But we got Caesar's not the first man in the chat. But what's up, everybody? Anthony's here. Christopher, Dean, Jake. Good morning, good afternoon. How are we all doing? Anyone got any trades on already in London maybe or a pre-market open trade today? While we look at this ICT opening retracement, we have on Thursdays, when we open below it, which is what we're going to do, 89. Pretty freaking good. Let's take it to a year of data. That was 6 months. In the past year, 88. So I like 88. I mean, it's only 7 points above us, 8 points. It might move there on the open. We might not really be able to play it. But we'll see how the open comes in. If we keep moving away from it, then we have a larger target up to it, as well as we will have a gap above us at like 57.60, where we lie now, it's about 0.29% away. We can go back to that, the gap fill report here. 0.2 to 0.39, so it's still going to lie within this basket, but it's going to be a gap down, so only 65% of the time. Not the biggest, but still more than 50. Paired that with the midnight price right in the middle of where we are now. The gap is like a little bit further, about like 16 points, where the midnight price is about 10 or less. But we got some targets above us. To get the gap fill, we got to go above yesterday's New York to get the midnight price. Like I said, not very far. We could definitely get that at the open. But we'll switch to regular trading hours. I would like to find longs. I think NVIDIA should open up. Yep, gap up a little bit bullish. Apple down a little bit. Set to open down, gap down. But we know they could open down here and just continue to rise since then. But we actually are live on YouTube today as well as my Twitter. So if you are new, tuning in from one of these platforms, I appreciate you. Say what's up in the chat, where you tuned in from. And yeah, we'll just let this open come in about a minute. And they'll probably, as always, I was just talking about this, the opening range, our near and dear to our heart favorite report on Thursdays, 78. So we have a double break of the gap at 78. The midnight price above us at 89, 88. 88's crazy. I know a lot of us, and I might fall into it too sometimes, you hear like 88%. You're like, oh, that's happening. That's a guarantee. Because the 12% chance of it not happening, not going to be today. But we do have to keep in mind, it is a probability. There is that 12%, 20% it does not happen. So we'll read and react. We'll read some structure with it and see if we can find a trade using it. And then we'll check out the what's in play. It's going to be the gap, the open, those good things. The open is just about here. Ding, ding, ding. Who's got the bell? Nice little gap down. So you can see it's not the gap fill report. It's not all the way to like the 4:15 in the afternoon finish. It goes till 4 o'clock. So that's why it's here. I'm learning. Because if I turn on the gap fill indicator, how did I do? Let's see. and then we'll turn on the opening range as well. The levels. It'll take a minute to paint though. Need that first minute bar to paint. But all right, all right. And then, like I said, there is news. We had the unemployment on every Thursday at 8:30. That's pre-market. We do have ISM services PMI in about 30 minutes, so that could be a problem. It could not be a problem. We'll see what we can find. If it's like 3 minutes before the news and we don't have anything hot and pressing, probably won't take anything. But if there's something clean presented between now and then, definitely could be worth taking. What's up, Lucas? Dun, dun, dun. Let's get it, Scott. Indeed, let's get it. But where is my gap? So I guess the gap fill takes a minute to paint too. Like it has to get to that 931 bar. Look at that. I drew it perfectly. So yeah, gap is at 57.60. Midnight price is at 57.51. All right, all right. We can turn that off now. The gap fill wise. And we still have yesterday's New York smack dab in the middle. But I was just talking about it a little bit on the stream. I was just live on Twitter like 10 minutes ago, and now I'm starting it up again. But if we can get the opening range, let's just say like set like this, since we want longs to the upside, preferably to that midnight price, the gap fill, obviously all day, we would prefer to get out the bottom of the open range first and then trade back up to the top. I think many of you know that already. Many of you have been taking that already. I think that's what it was slight, but I think many of you did that yesterday with also on his stream, right? It was like a did it break, did it not break? It was a very small wick. So if I just go to my markups yesterday, as you can see, very small wick at the bottom. Okay, that fulfilled the one side. Now let's look at the top. So the break back above New York. This was like the first time I've done it in a while. I added the 15-minute view in it as well, just because it looks like a clean long on the 1 minute. But if this were to lose, I would want to see like, well, yeah, maybe because the 15-minute here on the left side, still lower highs, lower lows since yesterday. That open push did take out yesterday's low. Maybe that's why the longs weren't great, but they did work out regardless because of that high stat of the midnight price above us, the gap fill above us, and the double break. So that was a nice trade for most of you that took that to go fulfill that. Just the same one. What is this one? This one's after. I did like this one. If this is yesterday's high VWAP, New York VWAP wasn't in there, I'm probably in this because there's no other reason not to be. I mean, the higher highs, higher lows, new high of day outside the opening range high. We've now broken both sides, so I don't think it really wants to probably come back down. Besides, maybe this 15-minute wanting to do that. But with these two bullish closes, it looked nice. But yeah, I mean, the pros and cons. Having yesterday's New York view up on yesterday kept me out of it, even though it did creep above it. So I avoided the winner there. I missed out on a winner there, but it'll also keep me from taking a loser now and then. So you can't have it both ways. That was a nice trade. I think Thomas took that. Ryan took a version of that. Christine, maybe Rebecca too. A bunch of people in the Black Shirt Club took it. And power to them. I do like it. Maybe this one, though. This one, now we got above that yesterday's New York and we retest it. Break of a high day again. That's maybe a better setup because now we're above that level rather than trading to it. Because I for sure liked the longs. I just didn't want to trade terrible risk reward into this level. Where this one, you're now above it. Stop loss is maybe a little wide. I could have seen this coming back down to opening range high. New York VWAP, if it were to do that, I'd want to buy it off there. Because not that it's overextended, but it's had a nice consecutive run up. Let me just get maybe a deeper pullback to this level. That's all. But it doesn't do that. It just another small break, creep for another new high day. It's a nice trending day. This one I missed because I was on a coaching call. After the nice strong run up, here's that deeper pullback I wanted. That reset almost to that open range high to the New York. Buyers are defending it for like an hour or so. Can't get below it. This one will be before the break of a high day view up. And honestly, even below the yesterday's New York. But again, like I said, if you turn that off, I don't think I have the markup of it. No, I don't probably. But if you turn that off, not that you should, but like this is going to look even better. If you turn this blue view up off of yesterday's New York, because it just looks like a new high, pull back to a key level, let's bounce. And then getting in before the break of a high day. Because honestly, if you do wait for the break of a high day view up, I don't think you win. Risk reward wise, it doesn't maybe lose because it just fills it out for power hour. Like, was that this one? That's still low. Maybe that's the wrong markup. Or maybe my trade zealous bugging. But does anyone take any of those trades that we went over so far today? Anyone take those yesterday? This power hour one? That's Austin's version after a pin down again to New York. Boom, break. It's a nice little runner, but for the big stop loss of 10 points, doesn't technically get you 1R. Here's the break. Technically doesn't get you 1 because didn't follow through. So if you can get that nice low bounce price, that was the play of the day. But a nice trending day. It never really extended away from the initial bounce. The initial bounce is also running along here. Couldn't really get away from that. A lot of us probably thought when it was somewhere along here, oh, we're going to all-time high view up, no doubt. Because today's looking super bullish. There's plenty of time left in the day. We're going there. And no, it was a bullish day. It finished the day bullish, but did not close at the all-time high view up. So as we're moving up here at the open, there goes midnight price. She gone. So midnight price hasn't been engaged with 88% of the time. And it holds true. It did. We engaged it again. But I'm not in the business of buying the first couple minutes or even buying that 4 minutes in to say, oh, we're going to go get it. It went and got the midnight price. Maybe it wants to fall back down and then go get the gap fill in the opening range break later. So I'm all good not taking that. Was anyone long right now somehow, some way? At the open, into the open? Speak up. What do we got? I didn't even look, but we are live on Twitter. Let's go to my Twitter. Oh, there I am. I'm live. Nice. Anyways, Carlos says, buongiorno. What's up? Josh, what's up? Shaw, what's up? Miguel looking good for longs. I mean, I'm hoping. We can keep an eye on this. Also, one thing to touch on, this is the daily time frame on the left here. I don't think anyone's bearish yet. Doesn't mean we can't find bearish moves on a given day. But if you turn on, make this a little bit bigger for you, September start of month view up, which is daily time frame automatically does, and it now just switched to October, so it looks different. But if you put it on September, I'll beef it up. Black. We're still holding that, right? And up until 2 days ago, this was the view up we were holding all month. So maybe until we can at least get below that, it doesn't really look bearish at all. This looks like maybe a healthy pullback. How many days of a healthy pullback does it want to have? Who knows? I mean, look at the close of yesterday. Is that technically red or black? The world may never know. I can't really get much more zoomed in than that. That is we moved nowhere. Interesting. Well, let's take it to a 15-minute view of it. Here on the left side, 15-minute wise, like I said, midnight price has been engaged with. Gap fill is above us on that white line. But if we do somehow today manage to move lower, take out yesterday's low, it is going to look like some nice lower highs, lower lows since that all-time high view up. There hasn't really been new highs set in. Where's the start of the turn to turn back bullish, right? To create that right side of the V. That is this going to be our bottom? Well, we may not know that until we start painting in higher highs and higher lows across a few days. So we'll see how today wants to shake out. Don't really have a strong bias today. I'd like us to get up above yesterday's New York as well as fill that gap and then trade it long. This is why I don't just long it right at the open to go try to get a midnight price because it literally hit that and right back down. Dean, what do you got? Eric's flat, Ryan's flat, nice. Varun, nice. Dean, do you still use regular start of day view up? On that 15-minute, you saw it there. I'll maybe judge it off that, of how, okay, right now, if this closes bearish like this, we just rejected it. But for the most part, no. I'm just here on the regular trading hours using this black one as start of day. I'll call it New York because it's from 9:30. But no, not really. Yesterday's New York and today's New York are my two key VWAPs where I want to consider the most volume. Jordan went long NQ. 19,939. A little 30. Oh, nice open on NQ. 19. So somewhere along here, nice. That's very, what is this blue? Is that yesterday's New York? So yeah, yesterday's New York view up on NQ, same thing. We'd like to get above that. Could turn off this. That's from yesterday. But a nice bullish open here from NQ. NVIDIA, gapping up, holding up. Apple's coming up. Come on. Jordan close pull. Nice W's. John, hey, Evan, do you know if there's a new coupon for this? I'll check in a second. Hold on. Microsoft's down. Google's down a little bit. Tesla up. The VIX is up 5%, bouncing. It's been 10 minutes. We'll give it some time, but NQ's holding up nice and bullish. Is the Dow ripping? Dow's down. NQ's up. So ES, a little bit more choppy. Who remembers that lesson back on the Forex days? But John, top one trader, I don't know if there's a new coupon. I don't do anything affiliated with them per se. So I just don't know. I'm not in touch. But you could ask Austin, or I could ask Austin after the stream, or if he's in here. Do you know if there's a new coupon? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the view up that is anchored to changeover of day. Yeah, I know what you mean, Dean. Yeah, that this black one here on the 15-minute, that is from the changeover. That's the one I was referring to. That I'll use it on the 15-minute view, but on these 1 minutes, no, I don't have it on the electronic trading hours. Like, where is that right now? Then our daily is like right here in the middle. No, not really. I'll break even trade on MO play. All right, Jordan closed. Beautiful. And nice open from NQ. But with Dow moving lower, it's going to halt ES a little bit from really ripping with NQ. Stocks are all red except for NVIDIA, just because of the gap up. That's helping it as well. But I mean, Apple's moving up. It just had gap down. So we'll keep an eye on things. We got news in 20 minutes. Like I said, sideways open so far. Movement-wise, 12 points. Not the most exciting thing we've ever seen, but not the worst. We do have a gap fill above us, like I said. So ideally, we break out the bottom of the range first, trade it back inside, maybe a break of New York to get to the top of the range, as well as break above yesterday's New York and the gap fill above us. The one problem with that yesterday's New York is if we, let's just say this is our New York. I don't like how it's flat. I like a sloping New York view up in one way or the other. But let's just say we break it here. We all get long. First place to take profits would probably be that yesterday's New York, if it doesn't cover all the way to the gap on that one push. Right, and with a stop at low a day, you could probably still get 1R in that move. You don't need to take it all the way up to the gap fill. Like, let's say, I don't know how, but let's say someone was long at the open and went to go get the midnight price. You take profit there, and then it comes right back down. Don't need to hold the trades forever. Abby, if this broke VWAP before opening range was set, would you long it, assuming no news, let's say? So, like, if it closes right now, Abby, no, I personally would not. Just how the opening range hasn't set yet, but some people definitely do, and anyone definitely could. Comes down to like personal preference of how many times have you marked up these mid-forming range plays when it's in the middle of the range, opening range isn't set, you haven't taken out either side yet. How often do those work? Everyone's answer is probably going to be different, just the way they classify it. But for me, I know that is not my best play. That I need to be in that. That's what makes me my money. So like I'm not interested in buying it like this. Stop loss at low a day. If you needed a trade, absolutely. I need a trade in the next 10 minutes. Then yeah, that'd be something you could play. But when you're picky and you have a certain setup you're looking for, no, this is not it for me personally. It's because it's in the middle of the range and the range isn't really set. The story hasn't really been told of this is going to be a bullish day yet. So I can't really fully believe that this wants to pop higher. I'm just hoping it pops higher. I mean, that you'd be probably hoping because NQ is moving like this, that, oh, then ES is going to come up higher too. And it very well could, but just not at the speed because the Dow's coming down a little bit. So normally with this range now set in a minute, we're probably not going to stretch it out either side now. This is probably our opening range here in the next 40 seconds. That if it does break above, some people are going to go long because now the range is set. Now you're trying to go get, in this case, you'd be going for the top, but you'd be playing that first break of a range rather than if this can come out to the bottom, get back inside. Well, now that's kind of my structure where I don't want it to go below that. Don't go below that. I want to go find longs, things like that. So we'll give it time. And it's still beneficial to look at this 15-minute here and say, well, since the changeover, all bearish. We rejected yesterday's New York. We're back below this daily VWAP. I'm sure if I put on a lower day from here, what does that look like? It's going to look wonky. On elect trading hours, lower day VWAP. Why does that look like that? Let's start that over. For people that look at it on electronic trading hours, that lower day VWAP from pre-market, anchor it there. Sellers are taking the low day view up. That's a tough long. See how they can hold it. But I don't look at it like that no more. I'm on the regular. And I do like the longs just because NQ is holding up. Nvidia's now up 3%. Just timing wise on my long, I'm not ready. But you do you. Everybody do you. Dan, late, tardy as always. Not planning to take a trade before 10 a.m. Yep, there's news at 10. So we could definitely wait. ISM services PMI in about 15 minutes. News. Yes. And there's orange shoulder at 9:45. Like right now, is that doing anything? Final services PMI. Look at all the shit I have for the thing coming out next soon, hopefully. Just been cooking. So yeah, I mean they have it here. Final services PMI 55.2 to 55, less than previous and forecast. But it's an orange. Not really shaking it up too much. Do they have it here? They have it as red. To each site their own, I guess. We know financial juice and Forex Factory definitely differ sometimes, but regardless of that, there is another set of news in 15. Miguel PMI coming up. Yes, sir. Michael says the gap fill looks good. Interesting. We're breaking for a new low, but I like the enthusiasm for sure. I like the hope. I like it. Yeah, hopefully we can go get it. So we did take out the bottom. Who asked that? Danny? I don't want to get anyone's name wrong. Abby. Abby said that. Would I go long on a break above New York now? You could now argue maybe it's a little bit better since we took out the bottom. If we can get back above, put a stop at low a day to try to go fulfill the double break, the gap fill above us. It would honestly be maybe a little better if midnight price also wasn't engaged yet, because now we kind of have like three things above us, and the gap in the midnight was the highest probability, like 88. But the gap fill is only what I say 65. So not ginormous. It definitely does not have to go up there today. At 65, 45% of the time, it's not gonna. That's not giant. But the double break stat today is good. So just trying to get as many things in line with you as you can. It would be nice if midnight was also up there at like 88%. Dow must be really sinking, huh? Yeah, really cooking RES because NQ higher highs and higher lows. Trying to hold above this yesterday's New York. Nvidia just as well. Apple's trying to hold its New York. Like to see how that holds. Microsoft down. Google's flat. Amazon's flat. Tesla's up and flat. Don't really look at all of them, but not to confuse anybody, we'll slide this over here because I'm not in it. So I don't want to confuse anybody. Not in that yet. And even if it does break, I don't know if I love that. Do I love that? Might love that. Even with the news, Danny, I mean, yeah, it's a good question. It's a good point. Which you could sometimes do. We have time here. It's not the greatest idea. Let's just go to, I'm going to show it on my monitor over here, but the services PMI, the last one was September 5th. So then a month ago, we could just go to September 5th. On September 5th, it was at 10 a.m., I assume, right? 10 a.m. This candle here kind of looks like a news candle. That maybe it did shake it up. It did move top to bottom a 20-point bar in 15 minutes with some wicks. The one before that was August 5th. August 5th, so it seems like it's always on the 5th. No, not really, because July was on the 3rd. August 5th at 10 a.m. Right here. Another wick. Maybe it is a news bar, right? How much did that move? A 46-pointer. Goddamn. Don't look like it, but I guess it was. So you can say, well, maybe it is a red folder. Maybe I don't want to be in that. Where's the arrow that just slides me over? Not gonna scroll all the way fucking back. Or does that make sense? That maybe we should avoid it. But if you're a Deegan, you'll trade through it. Or you could even maybe wait for those first few minutes to shake out. And if it hasn't moved crazy, you can get in a little bit late, potentially. We'll see. Right now, we're not above it, so we don't have to make that decision. Still making attempts at breaking out of the opening range low. We have not yet. Maybe make sure I'm on Top Step X. Am I logged in? They're going to keep me logged in. Nice. What I like to do is just copy some of the stuff over. Have my New York view up on there. Here's our high. And here's our low. All right. Double click on the price axis. Let's see. If I go over. What did that do? That just like reformed it. If I click on the bottom one, there used to be an arrow. Whatever. But no longs yet, despite NQ looking nice and bullish. Learned your lesson. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much all learned our lesson in trading news. Just if it was like a CPI, then absolutely not. But it's a services PMI. I mean, even we had the manufacturing one on Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday at 10. What did that do? Tuesday at 10 a.m. Back here. It was like one bar of wicks. The services one, 16 points. That could definitely stop you out. But that was a more volatile open that we were moving faster than on a day like today. But this can keep going lower and give us like a clear structure that this could be the bottom and we get back above New York. I'm not going to long it here because then I'm predicting it breaks New York. I need to see it break New York. Because, I mean, even doesn't have to be a bullish day. We all want it to be, but it does not have to be. Not everything's pointing up towards. I mean, the VIX is up 6%. As the VIX goes up, the indices come down. So, definitely going to wait. All right, could anyone see us getting down to like 20 today? And then would they see lower highs, lower lows? Absolutely. And if you want longs or you really like longs, you don't have to take a short. You can wait for longs to just look good. Might not happen until 11 o'clock or 12 or this afternoon. It's not like you have to be right on the longs right now. You could be flat. I am flat. Marcielo, what is the midnight price retracement? We already hit it, so don't worry about it, sweetheart. I believe it was 57.51. We hit it here on the open. I mean, it. Not to sound like a smartass, just go to midnight. And what price was that? It's not like an indicator or anything. It could be an indicator, but you just go back to midnight. Where were we at that time? We were right here. There's our midnight price. Hit it at the open. I love you, though. So here's some lift. Still got 7 minutes to the news. Who's taking it through the news? Your eye, just a bit of interest. ES closed yesterday at 57.60 at 4 p.m. Same level as it did on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Really? Same thing? Yeah. Yeah, like yesterday's daily was invisible. No break there. Let's see if this flips. Looks like it wants to try to flip and hold here. Let's see. No mid-candle entries for me. And if you jump in mid-candle, if you jumped, I'm not rooting this comes down, but if you jumped in at the top of that wick and it does come back bearish at the end of that candle, you deserve it. But I don't want you guys jumping in that. Even if it did rip in your favor, right? It's about probabilities, longevity, survival, long term. When I jump in mid-wick like that, over 100 trades, you might win some of them. Yes, it feels great today, but if you jumped in mid-wick there because you're like, oh, we're breaking. This is starting off bullish. We're going to rip here. Let me get in before it's too late. Well, now look at you. Now look at your son. You look foolish. So try to just be consistent of like, I need to close. So if this can hold here and flip back bullish, okay, not a great close. Let's see how this one closes. That's me. I'm going to wait for this one to close. And that could cost me very well to see it close up there and well, damn, now I don't want that price. But it's helped me avoid getting in before it's actually above, and we just fall all day. So you can't have it perfect both ways. What's going to help me most in the long run? Waiting for a solid close. It might cost me today, it'll save me tomorrow. But you do you. Everyone's got different entry criteria. And we got news in 5. Let's go get the top of the range. Let's get rid of this. Top of the range is whoa, 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 whoa. What is that? See what happens. VIX is coming down a little bit. That's good for your lift. NQ's been looking beautiful all day. Anyone long NQ? Because ES doesn't look that great. Anyone long NQ this whole time? Same thing with that video. I mean, like, I don't question the longs. Those look beautiful. Wonder if James is short on the Dow. Maybe looking for a long. So let's see if we can go get that top of range. And then gap fill is still like 10 points, 11 points away. Who's long? Who's long? Who is long? Ericon's long NQ. Nice. I mean, I don't think anyone could have bought NQ and lost money so far yet today. It looks great. There's really no like, oh, you're early. Or like if anyone bought this on ES, you could be early. Now is the time to buy it potentially. So timing was pretty easy on NQ. Stress free. Christopher's long. Josh is long. Jordan wants to hop in again, but I'm gonna wait. Okay. Got some flat in the chat. Christopher's 70 or 44. Oof. Just got like on this pullback maybe, or while this bar was coming up. Nice. I feel you. I see you. Dave's long from 47. Okay, so like on the close of this candle. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I'm not obviously not in it, but this would be the candle close. You can still get a 8.5 point stop. That's not egregious by any means. To go get to the opening range high, it's only 5 points. Yesterday's New York is 7 points. Gap fills way up there at 13. Let's just put it at a simple 1R. See if we can get 1R for us. Even if you get 0.8 R to this yesterday's New York, it's a nice winner. We'll see what happens. And the news in 2 hopefully doesn't shake anyone up, or hopefully it moves in your favor. If it is going to be volatile. Call me Stanley on flat. Ericon, and I'm out before news. Beautiful. Is NQ ripping? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you launch it down here, that's a nice consecutive pop out before news. Beautiful. How's NQ's 15-minute? So, right, this is what I was trying to say of NQ looks maybe a little better since it didn't take out yesterday's low yesterday. Zach was talking about that on Power Hour. Equal lows or whatever the hell you want to call it. But maybe is this the start of our higher lows to go into tomorrow or this afternoon to start to create the other side of the V, the right side of the V, right? We've been down, slow, bottom out here. Now let's go start the other side of it, back into trend, all right? Because up until that point, we still were making lower highs and lower lows. So hopefully today could be the start of the turn. We find some nice continuation longs into the afternoon, into tomorrow, all that good stuff. So let's see, you're pretty much, there goes the break of the double. I wonder if Austin's in this. This is Austin's bread and butter on this close here. Break back above New York after barely pinning at the bottom to go get the double break as well as the, I mean, he doesn't really play the gap fill, but that is up there. So he got 6 points on the top of the open range high. Let's see. Josh had take profit at top of range. Beautiful. That just got tapped. SMT, was it, Dean? Okay, I gotcha. SMT divergence. Take profit 1 taken by the pirate in the chat. I love that we have pirates. I never thought a pirate would watch me. But beautiful. Seems like a bunch of you made some money, at least on NQ. And some of you in ES are still holding, still rocking, still looking good. So if we can get some push here. News in 10. Come on. They want longs. The boys want longs. The boys need longs. So don't fuck them up here. It's just services. Or it's manufacturing. What is it? Services. Holy balls. What a wick. And I'm frozen. Oh, nice. So it was pretty volatile after all. Sheesh. That freeze for any of you guys like that? Looks just as laggy on my Top Step X, but beautiful. That should all help you out. No one really should have got stopped out there because it didn't like fuck everyone over with a wick down and then up. Pretty consistent up from the jump. Right. Who's still in? Who bagged it? Who took profit? What happened? What happened? The news came out of good. Services PMI up at 54, better than forecast and previous. That is good. Nice. So gap fill, not filled yet. Broke both sides. We're trying to get above yesterday's New York. Gap fill 60.75. We're 3-4 points away with this volatility. Hopefully we can get that. I mean, do I want it to get it here? Maybe I don't want to fill the gap now. So we can pull back. I long it, and then I go get the gap fill. But whatever happens, happens. If it breaks it, just could set in a nice long bias for the afternoon, and I could find some longs then. Because we'll probably get it. Even though it's only 65% of the time. We just know it likes to go higher. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Everyone should have made money that longed it at some point when we were talking about the places of interest around here. I don't think I told anyone to long it here. I think that's when Abby asked me and I said no because the range hadn't set yet. Then we see the bottom broken. All right, now you're getting juicy because I know we want to take out both sides. Let's get at the top. Just not the most beautiful close, but you could even honestly, I could have bought it there because it is only 8 points. You might be saying like, oh, I obviously want the price like right on the break because it's close to the VWAP. But even if you get this close, it's an 8-point stop. That's not far at all. And you still allow yourself to hold this VWAP. So maybe it could have been in that a little bit more aggressive instead of chatting. But then nice rip here on the news. There goes the gap fill. Bing bong. Get rid of that. Nice 15 points through the news. Everyone's out or everyone's trailing stop. When it's this news volatility, I would just trail stop to that candle. Don't get back below that. Pick up this momentum. Trail it. Trail it. Trail it. Until it wants to pull back. Or I would not get back 16 points. Just no need to do that. Put out yesterday's New York. Whatever. Secure at least 8 points out of that. Right? Beautiful. 7. It seems like everyone's out. W's. Armand's out. Nice. So let's put some. My note's going to be huge. I think 16 is a good size. All right. Break out of opening range low. Back inside. Above New York VWAP. Can't type with you guys watching me. So much pressure. Playing the double break stat. What did we say, chat? 78? I think so. 78 on Thursdays. NQ holding nice and bullish. And NVIDIA. Feeding your longs. Like I did like the longs. It just ES was getting held by down the Dow. Yeah. Trading up to gap fill above us. And midnight was already taken, so we don't need that. Hold through 10 a.m. PMI news. Sound good? Look good? Everybody look good? So now that this is gone, 18 points. I don't really care to see how far up it goes. I'll actually put this back on. Gap fill was like here. All right. So let's store that because that move is done. I really just want to see. I just want to see this part of it, right? How many times when it breaks out like this and breaks above New York, does it go to the top and some more, right? I don't need to study. Does it go 30 points higher consecutively? Like maybe if it goes a little bit higher, I'll take another new screenshot and just place it right next to it. Sometimes I'll do that, but I'm not gonna keep these texts on and P&L stuff on all morning. Now I want to look for my next trade, or not my next trade, my first trade since I missed it. But I mean, it's a winner, so I'll store it. Nice markup from the day. Nothing yet. Thursday, yeah. Yeah. So now the 15-minute probably looks nice and beautiful. Yeah. There's our higher low. Potentially, hopefully, let's go to all-time high. 20 points away. So now, my read on things. Fucking pull back for me. Retest yesterday's New York. Break the high day view up. I go long 20 contracts while it scales up. And then I retire and I take NFP off tomorrow. I mean, I like that plan. I really like that plan. But hopefully this doesn't just fucking keep ripping. Since the 10 a.m. news has just been moving up. 17 points. Who in the BSC got it? They're all trading together. Gino. All right, so let's flame a BSC member, shall we? It's Thursday. Why not? He didn't ask for it, but let's flame him. Long on the close back into the open range after the break of the opening range, playing the double break set. Fair. And yeah, cut 2/3 here when the lower day was broken. We'll look to re-add in. And then he did add back in, which is good. I think it's just too early. It's just premature. Just saying, oh, we took out the bottom with a wick. Okay, this must turn around right now. And then it pulls back and it's still holding that level, never like invalidating it. So I don't even think the peace out is warranted either. So I think just waiting a little bit more patience, you get the stress-free ripper. Anyone agree? Disagree? Not to put him on blast, but I mean, that's what I was talking about here. Like, could you buy it here? Yeah, I mean, but why? But why? Why? Why can't you just wait 10 minutes and buy it right there? Stress-free. When it's done pulling back. And then get 23 points. Sheesh. Sheesh. That's a nice rip. Now let's just look for some pullbacks. That's what we do. I don't buy it up here. Imagine I bought it up here and we just got another 14 points straight up to all-time high. It's still that same 15-minute news candle. Still 7 minutes left to close. How strong does it want to be? NQ, new high of day, above yesterday's high. Longs are looking juicy. Just not getting in up here. Look at NQ's open. Those steps up, sideways, up, sideways, up. That's not even like a pullback. That's just sideways. It's like boxy. Nice open from NQ. And then it's Dow. Oh, did James long this? I think James is long after me, right? So you'll have to ask him. He's probably long. If I had to guess, potentially similar like Austin's idea, break back inside the range. But maybe not because he's below the daily. This is just sitting up here, so I don't need to stare at it. If it pulls back, someone yell. News the rest of the day, we're all clean slate. What I miss? Man, he's still flat. I'll take a high day anchor view up. Not that I can see the structure for me yet. Nothing yet. It's just drifting higher now. You just got to sit in the sidelines for a pullback. 9 points and out at 53 before news. Christopher got it out before news and still a nice winner. Nice, beautiful. Going to look for a pullback. Dean's looking for a pullback. Jordan has been a nice morning, yeah. Yep. Dave traded London all day. One win here on New York, done for the day. Oh, yeah. If you're trading London and here, I'd cut that shit early. Especially if you're up. But what did I miss? Bum. Initial bounce isn't even set yet. But, what a ripper. Boom. No, I don't think James is long. Scratch that. But he will be long or he'll be live after me here. So now looking at the VIX, you could see right it was starting up open in the first 20 minutes, and just quickly how it reverses because it's been 20 minutes. It's not enough story being told that like it could obviously just switch right back. Nvidia strong open, Apple's coming higher still. Google's less choppy, now more bullish, just like we're seeing on the indices. So hopefully we can find a nice bullish day. This just wants to keep pushing like that. Unfortunately, I'll be here sitting on my hands. But if we could pull back even halfway to yesterday's New York at like 8 points, doesn't have to come all the way back down 15 points to all that. That'd be a pullback. But just give me something, right? Even just give me like a baby break like that along it there, something like that. A break here. Doesn't have to be crazy. Just give me a stop. Like if I longed it here, I'm absolutely not. Where the hell would my stop go? It would just be hoping it doesn't pull back this far or that far. And if anyone's still in that long from 45 up here at 70, that's a move. And a stress-free one at that. You had 1 minute of stress with the news of saying what's gonna happen, but since the news has came in, I think it was after so maybe this one or this I think it might have been this bullish one. Like just trail it to there at worst. And now they drift higher, maybe trail it there. Just don't give back too much of your profits if you're somehow still in this from 45. Why the hell do you need a stop loss down here? Take it out here. If it does come all the way down to that 45, 53, whatever, you can buy it back. You don't need to squeeze the life out of this one position price and leave your stop loss way down here. That's me. That's me. Jake's waiting for a pullback. Didn't want to trade through that news. Yeah, I mean, Abby scared me. Let's all blame Abby. Abby blamed me on the news. She scared me. And a few others. If it pulled back, would that indicate where it would stop the long? Let me read that again. What would indicate where you would stop the long? Like my long bias? My long bias is not going to stop today. I'm full long bias. I think. Like it would have to get back for a new low a day for me to really cook the longs. But ideally, it pulls back to a healthy pullback, 10 points, maybe to yesterday's New York, somewhere along here. And if you buy the bounce, you buy the bounce. If you're waiting for like a break of a high day to go up over here, then I would say you now at least have your structure of where you want your stop. That longs wouldn't look great back below that. That's all. Right? Because let's say, get rid of this magic marker. If you buy it down here and it gets back inside the range below New York, I don't know if I really want to long it back like from here all the way up there. So I wouldn't want to find longs down here necessarily. I'd be probably looking at why did that just reverse so hard? So any longs I can get in and around here probably gets invalidated below. Here's a nice pullback. So anyone that didn't squeeze out profits there, cry me a river. Cry me a river. Don't need to pull back. Evan, you want to see something sad? I mean, I don't know if I do. Is it like a puppy or something? Sure, send it, Dean. What do you got? Something sad? Sure. Something that's not sad? What the fuck's going on right now? 10:14. What's happening right now? What's happening right now? Was this Manzoni? You doing this? Just cooking my long buys, like I said? The fuck is that move? The 15 minutes gonna look atrocious. Ugh. That's all in the same news candle. Since the news came out at 10, that's all the same candle. What is even trading sometimes? What? That's interesting. It's actually interesting. What just did that? Why are we moving like this? Just like fizzled out for 5 minutes and now we're ripping. We're moving 10 points at a time. Excuse you? Excuse me? What? Video a little healthy pullback to its New York. That looks good. I wouldn't want that to slice. NQ back to its New York. Opening range high. VIX, good lord. What is happening? All right, all right, all right. Everyone, stay calm. Everybody, Dean's going to send us something sad, so let's prepare for that while also looking at the charts. James said he likes longs still. I said you might be in a long. Are you in Dow long when I got back inside the range or no? Not yet. But there, where's that stop? 13 points. Fuck you. Am I in the business of a 14-point stop? Not really. The Deegan in me wants to just tighten it there. So that's a new 15-minute candle now. Quite the wick above, but I mean, it could definitely still continue higher today. But what is that wick on that news? NQ, how about you? Same thing. Did try to make a new high day. Still stuck inside, back inside, but still. Jeez. Thought we were going to have like a bull party today with that move you guys had at the news. And then now we're just saying, like, maybe not, Evan. Maybe go fuck yourself. Oh, okay. Could be Biden. Sleepy Joe. Financial juice. We were discussing Israel striking Iran oil facilities. Well, that's oil at least. But yeah, S&P. Well, there you go. There you have it. Thank you, Thomas. What's the ticker for oil? I'll just do crude oil futures. Ooh. Took some expensive oil. Popping up there. But who's long here? I think someone said I can't see the chat. Abby long at 52. Oof, nice. Right on that close. Stop at the pin. I definitely want to 9-point stop. That's a nice one. Just because you have that pin for your invalidation, you could even just say 11 at the bottom of range. Don't go back down there. This news volatility is sending it quite quickly. Past comment on that one. Beautiful. 9 points. Savage. Dean, what are we looking at? Something sad? Look where I bought NQ this morning. Where's your price? This is 19,874. What does that mean to me? 19,874. 19. Oh, it's pre-market. Ooh. Bought a pre-market, it seems like. And where'd you get out? 905. Still pre-market. Pussy. Who gets out pre-market? Come on. We're ripping through the open. Yeah, that's quite sad. It's all right. You'll find another trade. You'll catch it. You'll catch it. What I was gonna say was something that's not sad is the Houston Astros have been eliminated from the playoffs. That's great. That's huge. I hope Jose's here. I DM'd him immediately. Jose, who tunes into a lot of the streams, he's from Texas and he's an Astros fan, and he has no problem DMing me things about Yankees losing or Astros winning this. So I had to rub it in. So it's impressive. Making it to October 2nd in the playoffs. It's a 2-day run. That's impressive. Good for you. We'll get him next year. But he has yet to answer me. I wonder if he'll leave me on red. He's crying in a corner or something. And yeah, long and NQ after the shake. Okay, nice. I assume something similar to this. Technically, I need $9, but I don't want to break a rule because I opened it yesterday. I don't know what rule that would be. Technically, like, I need $9, but I don't want to break a rule because I opened it yet. You opened the trade yesterday? What is happening? But all right, yeah, make that $9. You'll get it. See, is Financial Juice saying anything else? Yeah, just that Biden. We were discussing Israel striking Iran oil facilities. That's it so far. That was at 10:13. When we sync, 10:13. Fucking Joe. Setting in my long bias for the day, and he just comes on and fucks it up. Combine opened yesterday. So what, you're saying like the 50% rule? You don't want to pass it in one day, or something like that? Gotcha. Well, with this news shaking, I'm gonna let the world settle. I got other things I got to press today and work on before the end of the week, but I will be looking for some trades if I can. We got Power Hour later on in the afternoon. I'll try to catch that. I'll try to be on there with James and Austin and Zach. And you could mark this up on the big move down, the hold of New York, a hold of open range high. Technically speaking, it's a great setup. Fundamentally speaking, who the fuck knows what's going on? Oil's ripping. But yeah, I put some notes on that. Mark that up as well. But for anyone tuning in late, been here the whole time, mark up that idea of why we don't love that one as much. The range hasn't set yet. Haven't taken out on a side of the open range. A bias of longs haven't really made sense yet in the day. It's been 10 minutes and we've been up and down. Okay, this one, break above New York. Now I kind of have a level for structure. I'm going to play the double break. I'm going to play the gap fill. There's a good idea. Since the news, this is our third play today. Retest open range high. New York VWAP. Stop loss then validates at that pin. Going to look for more longs. Still holding this yesterday's New York VWAP a little bit. Just a gnarly pin and it's fundamentally driven. So keep an eye on this chart and financial juice the rest of the day because that was right at 10:13 what sends it down. So technically speaking, it looks structurally pleasing. But this is moving for external factors, So just be careful. I mean, that's a giant ass bar. If it took like 30 minutes to pull back to this level, I'd probably buy it. That moved in 1 minute. Fuck that. But yeah, whether you took a win or not, mark up the ideas. Your only way you're going to get better at taking these first breaks of New York after taking one side of it is marking them up. Do you want to break? Is that a break to you? Or is this a break to you? This one, it didn't break either side of the range yet, so maybe we don't love that. We don't really know where we want our stop. Because if you hug it at structure there, you take on all this drawdown. So just stuff like that. Don't get lazy. Even if you got to win, don't be lazy. Mark up all the ideas, put some notes on it. How could you have done better? If you were long down here, how could you have maybe trailed the stop during this news? And then here she comes. Good thing I ain't in that. Feels good. Austin finally decides to join my stream and send the fucking financial juice as if we aren't already looking at it. This guy. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on financial juice just throughout the rest of the day. See if this refreshes and anything else comes in. Is this chart active? Not really. It's a little. I can move it, but I think it's delayed. Yeah, we've moved since then. Well, that would have got wiped. Good to avoid that. I'll put some notes on it after the stream. I'll promise you. Just want to clean it up here for the time being so you guys can see everything. And then let's check the 15-minute. Probably looks fucking gross. Ugh. Damn. How quickly things change. Had the nice pop. We're going to have a nice solid close above yesterday's New York. Left a pin. Left another pin. Are we coming towards lower day? Are we going to be making lower highs and lower lows still this week? Boom, boom, boom. Shit. You even just draw a channel. Trade it from the top to the bottom. There's one thing to note. I think there's probably that divergence today as well. We still didn't take out yesterday's high on ES or low. Still inside. And Q did take out its high. So that's a nice bullish sign. Probably wants to not take out the high again. Probably just wants to close above this price today to be a bullish day. So maybe we can still hold on to some longs. Just going to give it time. Who's buying it off the bottom here? The structure is just not my structure, but I'm sure someone's going to long it off here. If you long it here on this break, don't be fucking tight with a 6-point stop. Just give it some space to hold potentially. Play around with this opening range low. But I don't know what your bullish driving factor is right now. What's your catalyst? I know we don't really normally need a catalyst to go higher. We believe they can. They want to. Normally just drifts. But like, what's going to make you think this just turns around and goes bullish again, news-wise? If anything, there's a bearish catalyst to actually maybe indeed send this lower, but we'll wait. Let it fizzle out. Try to find some other things on about Twitter and all that good stuff. But James should be live in about 5 or so minutes if he wants to go live now. Right when I send you guys off, he could do that. If this broke view up, would you long with the Israel news? If this broke view up of what, New York? You could even honestly put on like a higher day. The long up here. Break up yesterday's New York. Today's New York. Structurally, that looks gross. The 16-point stop. That if anything, I'd rather like this with the 10-point stop and like look to cut it early. But don't need that for my first trade of the day. But yeah, I mean, you could obviously warrant longs if we could somehow get back up here. Just the one thing you might have is a false breakout, create back lower highs and lower lows like we're getting so far. But it's definitely in play. Want to see how well this shakes out in the next 15-minute bars or so. Initial balance is going to be set soon. About 4 minutes. All right. Makes sense. All good. Great W's on the longs pre-news, and it's a good thing that I think everyone got out. At least majority by the time they're up here. And I was saying at least trail it there, so you should have only given back a little bit. If you longed it here and got tapped at break even, holy shit. Do we have to have a talk behind closed doors? Because I'm going to raise my voice. But I appreciate you all. Great W's. Mark up all the ideas. Mark up this long as well, even on the news. This one loses, mark it up. Mark up a potential long here with a stop loss outside. But put some notes on why. And then if it gets back above, mark up that long. Markups, markups, markups. Fucking study. Anywho, sorry to curse at you. Love you all. But that's it for me. I'll be on Power Hour later today, most likely. 95% chance. So we can look for some trades there once this all settles out. James is going to go live in a few minutes. Check him out. He'll probably be looking for longs still. I think he said he still liked the longs. He also maybe looks at the Dow longs. NQ, how did that look through all that? NQ is still looking pretty bullish. Hasn't made it back to its low yet, so we'll see. The day's not over. Just keep an eye on this news. Keep an eye on Twitter, Financial Juice, all that stuff, just to see. And yeah, if you need me, DMs are always open. I'll see you guys on Austin stream in the morning. If I don't see you on Power Hour, we'll finish off the week strong on NFP tomorrow. Try to find some moves afterwards. Keep it a nice short day. We don't need to trade until Power Hour on a Friday, right? But it's still the start of the month, start of a quarter, so let's just keep up the momentum. Start off right with good habits and not blow ourselves out the first week and then set the tone for all of October, right? Let's have a good start so we could have a nice middle and a nice end. All righty. Tony, Ericon, everybody that longed it. Beautiful trades, good management, hopefully. NQ and ES. And this is just another last thing. It's another good example of, like, as silly as it sounds, the market can do this at any point in time throughout the day. There's breaking news. So no matter how good this trade looks to continue long, you never know what the fuck's going to happen. So secure your wins. Get out of the market. Get in, get out. Secure your money. Go frolic down the street because you're done. You're stress-free and you're out. All righty. Appreciate you all. Trade safe. See you guys next week.